Hello everyone, I figured I would do an update after round 3 out of 6. So we're halfway there, well more than halfway now because I'm about to go in for round 4 in a week. So don't mind this, it's just I got my blood work done today. So everything's been going good. Just was in the hospital for 5 days getting my chemo. Then I had to go for my follow-up appointment after, like 5 days after. And actually, they found my heart rate to be really high at that point, and they didn't know why. They thought I was dehydrated, so they sent me to the hospital to get fluids. Now this happens with chemo, it dehydrates you, and it accumulates in your body, and it just causes all these things to go wrong over time. Like, it causes anemia to build up, to happen in your body because your hemoglobin is constantly dropping and your red blood cells are constantly being killed and not being replenished enough, fast enough for you to not be anemic. So, and especially with my kind of chemo, my protocol, it adjusts every time to how your body responds. So the first 2 treatments, my body tolerated it well, so my dose was increased by 20% each time. So my third chemo, I was receiving 144% the dose I was receiving in chemo number 1, So, that makes the treatment more effective because it's stronger and it's exactly what your body tolerates. But it also makes it a bitch because after you get to the point where you find out exactly what your body tolerates, every single time you're going to be wiped out. So this time I was wiped out. And so they took me to the hospital, they gave me fluids, and once they gave me the fluids, my heart rate dropped a little. However, they also did blood work and they found out that I was severely anemic and my hemoglobin was at 7. At 7 is the point where they begin to give you blood because your body just doesn't have enough oxygen to give to its organs, and then your organs begin shutting down. So we didn't want that to happen, so I got 2 bags of packed red blood cells, lymphocyte reduced, because immunocompromised people who get white blood cells from donor blood can actually die. So anyway, I got my blood. Also, if you can go donate blood, please do. Especially O blood, because there's a shortage of it and there's a lot of us with O blood. And yeah, if you can donate blood, please do. Saves lives, and you don't even do anything. You just exist. You give them your blood and you save someone's life. It's amazing. It's the most easy thing to do. Honestly, you just sit there, you get blood, you eat something nice, and then you go home. Go about your life. So anyway, my hemoglobin went up from 7 to 10.4, so they sent me home. However, there was a good thing that came out of this hospital visit apart from getting blood, and that was that I had to get all this imaging done because they had to rule out anything else being wrong with me, like pulmonary embolisms or something wrong with my heart. So I had heart tests done. I had an EKG and I had an ultrasound, and then I also had imaging tests done. I had an x-ray and I had a CT scan to rule out a pulmonary embolism. So the heart test came back normal. It's just that I was tachycardic, and it's sinus tachycardia. It's not like an abnormal tachycardia type of thing, it was just fast beating, not abnormal beating. So then that was that. The x-ray just showed that there was a mass in my chest, but we knew that. And then the CT scan actually showed that the mass was decreased by a lot. And so because the mass was decreased by a lot, especially compared to the first time I got a CT scan back in December, they were thinking of not giving me a PET scan this week, that even though I was scheduled to have it. And they were saying that progress is good, halfway progress is pretty good so far. So I was happy with those results. I kind of got them earlier than I was going to get them if I waited for the PET. But I also want to get the PET because when I had my uptake in my chest in the PET, I also had, it was physiological uptake, which means it was just a bodily process happening. PET scans show uptake for many reasons, not just cancer. But there was uptake in my ovary, and I just want to make sure that's not there anymore. It's probably not. It was nothing. No one was worried about it. But, just for the sake of my sanity, I want to see that it's not there. So there was that, and then my insurance actually denied my PET scan because they think that it's not medically necessary and that it does not diagnose or help stage and identify tumors in my type of cancer, which is lymphoma. And I was like, I just, every time I read those kind of letters, I laugh because, first of all, a PET scan is what diagnosed me and staged me the first time. And also, like, this is a national protocol made by, like, cancer centers and doctors. And I think when they say that you need a mid-treatment assessment to make sure that your treatment is working, it's medically necessary. Now, the fact that insurance doesn't want to pay for it doesn't make that medically not necessary, it just makes them Scrooge. So, stingy motherfuckers, but we will live. Appeals processes are bothersome, but they exist for a reason, right? So healthcare in America continues to be a joke, but I will continue to fight it. And that is really what is happening. Everything seems good. Round 4 seems to be coming in about a week. And I will be hopefully getting my PET scan this week. Even though my insurance doesn't want me to, I still want to get it done. My doctor still wants me to get it done. I will most likely get it done. And it will probably just say what the CT scan said. So